Yesterday, on April 28, 2025, Governor Sheriff of Delta State and Okowa Ifeanyi, the former governor and former vice presidential candidate of the PDP, and most other PDP officials in the state, decamped from the PDP and were received into the APC by the vice president, Shettima Kashim.
It's a great day for us in Delta State. When the news broke out on Wednesday, the 23rd of April, 2025, that we have decided to change our path, people wondered why. But one thing is very important. In the history of a people, there is always a time to change their path for the common good of the people. And whatever decision that we took was based on that common good and the need to change our path in the best interest of our state.
He was welcomed into the APC as a blessing. Festus Keyamo, the aviation minister, announced the handover of the APC leadership in the state to Governor Sheriff.
We welcome you unconditionally to the APC. It's a blessing to us, a blessing to the state, a blessing to Mr. President, a blessing to the good people of Delta State. That Delta State is now aligned with the ruling party at the center. So the synergy will be incredible.
In nearby Rivers State, while Governor Sim Fubara is reportedly negotiating to get back his seat and is also on his way to the APC, his rivals in the Rivers State conflict said they do not want to be late in coming to the APC party. Over the weekend, they decided to announce their support for the presidential ambition of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Federal legislators in the state loyal to the FCT minister, Barrister Ezenwo Nyesom Wike, addressed a press conference to that effect.
On your mandate we shall stand. On your mandate we shall stand. On your mandate, Bola, on your mandate. On your mandate we shall stand. On your mandate we shall stand. And so, on your mandate we shall stand. On your mandate, on your mandate, on your mandate we shall stand.
Ladies and gentlemen, the crux of this press briefing is 1. To remind Nigerians that in 2023, we work assiduously under the leadership of Nyesom Wike for the election of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and we were victorious in the assignment. 2, as members of the National Assembly from Rivers State, we declare unequivocally our unconditional resolve to work again for the re-election of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu come 2027.
There is the probability that the Rivers State federal legislators may next week dump the PDP for the APC when the National Assembly resumes. Whether the Minister of FCT will also decamp to the APC is still a matter of speculation. His media assistant, however, issued a statement pressing the Delta State Governor and former Governor Ifeanyi Okowa for decamping from the PDP. All eyes are now on the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Pastor Umo Eno, who has declared support for the APC prospective presidential candidate, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. When Governor Eno and former Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Emmanuel Odom, leave the PDP, Senator Diri Doyo will be the only PDP governor left in the South-South. The APC expects that these decampings will change its fortunes in the region where it was beaten in the last election to the second position by the Labour Party. Away from politics, the husband of the gospel singer Osinachi has been sentenced to death following his conviction for the murder of his wife. Justice Nwosu Iheme of the Federal Court determined that Mr. Peter Nwachukwu is guilty of culpable homicide, punishable with death. And to the northeast, where the governor of Borno State, Babagana Zulum, is saying that the Boko Haram is gaining ground. The Boko Haram struck at Hong local government area of Adamawa State. According to the chairman of the local government air council, Usman Waganda, on April 25, insurgents stormed Kope village and killed 10 hunters and members of the Civilian Joint Task Force, the two groups that have been protecting the village from regular invasion by Boko Haram. In the last 2 weeks, some other villages nearby were attacked by the terrorists and 17 people were killed. According to the people in other villages, 40 other villagers were killed in the area last year in 2024. The area borders Sambisa Forest. The Minister of Defense and former governor of Zamfara State, Dr. Bello Mohammed Matawali, in company of the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Gwabin Musa, were in Maiduguri to evaluate troops' operational readiness and to also help in boosting the morale of the frontline military personnel. A statement issued by the minister's media aide said the trip became necessary because of the growing concerns over resurgent attacks by Boko Haram and the Islamic State West African province, ISWAP. Governor Zulum had urged the federal government and security agencies to act decisively to prevent a reversal of the gains made in fighting Boko Haram. It will be recalled that Governor Zulum of Borno State had warned against the deteriorating situation with insurgents dislodging military formations in areas such as Wulgo, Wajiroko, and Sabongari, reported the Blueprint newspaper. Meanwhile, the Boko Haram and related terror groups have increased their campaign. On Saturday, 8 travelers were killed when an AID, that is improvised explosive device, went off along Maiduguri-Damboa Road. Another IED attack on Gamboro-Ongala Kalabalga Road reportedly killed several people. And the terrorists went back to Chibok, where in 2014 they kidnapped 276 schoolgirls from their school. This time, they attacked people who had gathered to mourn a deceased member of the community. Dr. Manasseh, the National Publicity Secretary of the Chibok Development Association, says that the attacks on Chibok did not stop in 2014. According to him, since then there have been over 100 attacks and several villages destroyed and people sent out. He fears that Chibok may soon be overrun by Boko Haram.
The military have been doing a lot of, especially in protecting Chibok main town and few other villages like Kubrumbula and Kautikeri. Kautikeri, that is the only remaining village on the eastern flank of Chibok, has been attacked for more than 90 times. And if you go there, you will see the volunteers, the volunteering youths of that community who have joined the hunters or civilian JTF or the community vigilante. They have been working assiduously with assistance from the local government, from the state government, and even from the community. The Kada community have been assisting them in terms of logistics to keep vigil over those communities. So for the effort of the volunteers in those communities, we can still have 3-4 villages surviving on the eastern flank of Chibok, boundary Sambisa. And those guys have been engaging in fighting the terrorists day and night. They have recorded a lot of success together with the military. Some of these hunters can go out, overpower some of these small detachment of the terrorists and seize weapons and surrender them to the military. It has been happening in Chibok consistently. So the community is doing a lot. The state government have supported in various ways, but what we are saying is more can be done, and this war we can win over this terror because we are more than them. We are more determined than them. So what is keeping these villages is the resilience of the people, because some people have worked and retired and went home. They don't have anywhere to go again. Some have never gone anywhere. This is their village. They have nothing to go to. They have nowhere to go to. And that is why you can never find a Chibok person that is from Chibok in any of the IDP camps, even when we had a lot of IDP camps around in Borno. We host our own people. You go to any house in Chibok and you will find a lot of other families that are coming from different communities that have been displaced. We host them. So we have to keep some of these villages. And even today that this couple was attacked and Shigarku was threatened, if you go to Mbalala this morning and you come to Chibok, you will see people, even in some shops in the marketplace and in front of houses, shops have been turned into people's home because we need to accommodate our own. So that is what we are doing right now.
And for those who are hoping for an improvement in their conditions, the World Bank has said that they should tighten their belts because the economic conditions of the country and Africa may take a turn for the worst. According to the bank's latest report, poverty is expected to rise by 3.6% in 2027. The 100-page report says that the economic growth in Africa is inadequate to reduce extreme poverty, and that the number of poor people in Africa is likely to rise from 576 million in 2025 to 589 million in 2027. About 80% of the world's estimated 695 million people living in extreme poverty reside in Africa.